Alrighty. It says we're live, so that means we're live. I am going to share stream real quick on the interwebs, just real fast. Um, Give me 1 second here. Alright, so I promised myself I wasn't going to do one of these. I talked myself out of doing one the other day, but decided, fuck it. We're going to go ahead and do one of these. Putting my phone down. So that way you guys have my full undivided attention. I am filling up my vape and whatnot, but I wanted to talk openly about this upcoming election that's happening literally tomorrow. Just kind of put my opinion in the hat and just kind of say what most adults should be thinking. But as proven several times before in the United States of America, their actions tend to not reflect adult mind thought or mind process. Sorry, thought process. Jesus, I'm all over the place. I'm really nervous because I'm sure I'm gonna offend some people, and I don't want to lose viewers over an opinion, but I'm sure I'm going to. So we're just gonna jump straight into it, man. I'm waiting for a couple of you guys to kind of roll up in here, and then we'll just get going. So, what's up, Dak? How you doing, brother? How you feeling, man? All right, so now that we got some peeps rolling in, I'm just gonna go ahead and start talking. And if you disagree, that's fine. If you agree, that's fine. I am all for free thinking. I'm all for people having their own opinions, and everybody has a right to their opinion. That's what makes America so awesome. Is that everybody here is entitled to their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions. All right, so let's just jump straight into it, man. Obviously, tomorrow, November the 3rd of 2020, is the 2020 election. And obviously, our choices for I guess the two main choices that, like, it's going to be one of them that win is Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Okay, Donald Trump represents the Republicans, and Joe Biden represents the Democratic Party. So, as most people know, I follow politics pretty closely. I study politics a lot. I hate them, but the thing is with me, I don't want to speak on a subject that I know nothing about when spoken to about it. So I try to stay as educated as humanly possible on it. So let's start off with let's just start off really slow. We'll get to my opinion near the end. So, over the past 4 years, Donald Trump has been the United States of America president. He's been the president of the United States of America. That's the better way to say it. Um, and he has done some good and he's done some bad, as most presidents do. Donald Trump's a very controversial figure in the United States of America. He is either really liked or really hated, and there's not too many people that are in the middle. There's not really room for a gray area with Donald Trump. It's pretty much you either really like him or you really hate him. So the whole thing is there's been a lot of controversy around this election because half of America thinks Trump is an idiot, and the other half of America thinks Biden is an idiot. So the United States is very divided right now politically, and we have been for a very long time. And I don't think that's news. I think everybody knows that. But the biggest thing is, man, as we've seen over the past 4 years, Trump has a way with words. He isn't the most elegant speaker. He's definitely not what I would refer to as a classy figure. Not that I hate the man, but he's not very classy. He's just very shoot from the hip kind of guy. and he likes to tweet a lot. Um, some of the good he's done for the country, though, that I'm definitely going to acknowledge live because what I'm going to say is factual. He is very pro marijuana. In fact, he has left it up to the states themselves whether marijuana should be legal or not. He's talked openly about it several times that he is absolutely for medical marijuana, which is awesome because science and medical fact would dictate that marijuana is a good thing. It's very helpful and very beneficial for not just cancer patients, but people with glaucoma, people with ADHD, depression, anxiety. The list goes on of all of the different good things about marijuana. I don't even know if I can talk about marijuana on YouTube. I think I can, but YouTube, please don't get rid of my channel. But so he's very for marijuana, which is something that I definitely am happy about. Um, he definitely has done some good with our economy. Matter of fact, I live next to a steel mill that reopened, and Trump came down here himself to reopen it. He's definitely helped re-revolutionize the United States steel industry, which is really, really, really good for not just our economy, but just America in general, that we don't have to rely on imported steel, and we can just make it here in the U.S., which is good. That's something that we have needed for a long time, and something that all the past presidents neglected. Um, Now, I'm not a steel worker. I've never been a steel worker, but I have a lot of friends who are steel workers and who work for the steel union, and they have definitely benefited from Donald Trump doing that. So I give him all the credit in the world for that. Another thing Trump has done pretty well, in my opinion, is the way he's handled healthcare. Up until he became president, me and my family really struggled with healthcare because Obama did the whole Obamacare thing. And when he did that, me and my family lost our health insurance. And then we got health insurance and whatnot. But I have a friend who lost his health insurance, and then the state fined him for not having health insurance because the Obamacare got rid of his health insurance. So Obamacare was good in theory, poor in execution, in my opinion. But I'm not here to talk about Obama. But Trump has done a great job with the healthcare, in my opinion. He's done a really, really good job with making sure that most Americans can afford healthcare. And if they can't, he's done a good job at helping it be provided. I know a thing that goes around about Trump a lot is that he hates poor people and that he wants to completely defund like public aid, and that's not factual. One of the things that it's not factual. One of the things that he did recently is he signed a bill uh, that would help people that were unemployed um, get back on their feet, and he funded the public aid offices more money for job fairs. So that way, the people that go to the public aid offices, and I'm not sitting here I'm not sitting on a throne. Like, I've been in that public aid office a lot. Okay, I've been on public housing, the whole nine yards. I'm very not wealthy. We're a very paycheck to paycheck family here in my house. So please don't think that this is like a fuck you, poor people, because that's just not what it is. But there wasn't a lot of job fairs, which is something that I've benefited from in the past. When I didn't have a job and I was on public aid, one of the job fairs actually got me a really good job. So, well, I went to it and got a really good job. But if it wasn't for that job fair, I wouldn't have got the job. So he funded more of that, which is really good. It can be very beneficial, especially if the people going to the job fairs take it seriously and show that they're very interested in working in these jobs. And these aren't like shit jobs. Like, these aren't jobs that are like not career jobs. Like, these are potential career jobs at these job fairs. So he did that really well. And so I'll give him credit for that. I like Trump's view on the Second Amendment because I am a Second Amendment supporter, 100%. Um, I, I, I obviously everybody knows from uh, past talks about guns that I'm all for guns. I like the fact that as an American citizen, I have the right to own a firearm. Firearms have saved my life. I'm not going to debate firearms with anybody. I have said in the past that I think we need better health background checks on our firearms, but I'm not going to debate whether people should own guns or not. I think it's pretty clear, at least in the United States and the places where it is illegal to own a firearm, how bad that is. Because people when they talk about guns like to bring up like other countries where they don't have guns. Other countries don't have as many gangs and violent gangs as the United States does, and that's statistically proven. So if you take guns away completely, um, then from like law-abiding citizens like myself, then you're only unarming the good guys, because the Bloods, the Crips, and everybody, all the other gangbangers down the road are not going to give up their guns. So I'm not going to give mine up. I think that's stupid. But anyway, I like Donald Trump's view on the Second Amendment, and I'm sure there's more that he's done that I could go off the top of my head and remember, but it's already been 10 minutes. So let's move on to what he has done that I don't like, and understand that again. I am presenting all of this as objectively as possible based on my opinion, which you guys will be hearing at the end of this video. What's up, Ryan? Love you, dude. Um, but like anyway, so one of the things that Trump has done that I absolutely cannot stand, is I hate the way he responded to the COVID-19 virus. Now, obviously, people can bring up that like COVID is fake. It's all a pandemic or whatever, and that's fine. If you believe that, I'm not going to debate it with you. I'm not going to argue with you. But I feel like the way him and his cabinet and his staff managed the COVID-19 pandemic has been piss poor. I don't think that now granted, uh I think that at the later end of it, when he was like doing the stimulus check thing and he was like all about reopening America, that's great. But at the start of it, he called it a fake virus. He referred to it as the China virus, which I understand that the virus started in China, but in my opinion, you should not refer to a virus that is not good. Okay, you should never refer to a virus as something other than its name. COVID, and it was referred to as corona for a while, but like the COVID virus is what it should have been like named, and that's what it should be stay as. Like that's what the name should stay as. Um, and I think it's stupid that Trump said this out loud, because now a lot of Trump supporters, at least in my area and that I've seen on the internet, and we'll get to the whole internet thing in a minute, um, like refer to it as the China virus, and I don't really feel like that's fair to the Chinese population, because it wasn't the Chinese population that did this. It was obviously now there's 100 different stories about how it started. The one that I personally believe is the one that it was like mutated in a lab, because that makes the most, just off my head, that makes the most scientific sense. So it did originate in China, but there's no reason to blame an entire country when it was one guy. I think that's foolish. Um, so I don't like that. I don't like that he said that. I don't like the way he handled the COVID-19 virus. One of the things that that I've researched. I don't know if this is 100% fact or not, and if it's not, somebody correct me. Feel free. But like I've heard and read that one of the reasons we had such a mask shortage is because he defunded a lot of the stuff for a pandemic that Obama had funded, just strictly in the name of fuck Obama, which Trump does a lot, and that piggybacks into my next point. I really dislike the fact during debates and all these other things, Trump takes no accountability for himself. A lot of the times he's, well, this guy did this, and this guy did this, and this guy did this. Okay, but we're not talking about what Obama did 8 years ago. We're not talking about what Joe Biden's doing right now. We're talking about what you have done to, help with this virus. And I dislike the fact um, that Trump takes no accountability for his actions. And I don't like that. Just as a man, as a grown man who pays bills, I don't like that. I really do not like the fact that when he was being asked about his opinion on white supremacy, which I would say is a problem, obviously, in America, he wouldn't condemn white supremacy. He told this white supremacy group to stand back and stand by. And I don't really like that. If I was the president and somebody asked me to publicly demonize a white supremacist group, I would openly call them racist and idiots because I don't like racist people. I've never liked racist, especially as a Hispanic man. I do not like racist people. Um, and I don't think anybody with moral character and any kind of just normal intelligence would be racist or like racist people. So, so there's that. I really don't like the way Trump talks about women. I'm not a feminist by any means. Like I believe that women should have equal rights and whatnot, but I don't identify as a feminist. But the way Trump continuously talks about women, and how he degrades them for just being women, I dislike entirely. I think it's very sexist. Um, and there's more that I could go on about what I dislike about Trump. But all of that we're at 15 minutes now. Um, so so let's talk about Joe Biden, okay? So Joe Biden, I'm not gonna lie, I don't identify with really anything Joe Biden wants to do. I dislike his stance on marijuana incredibly. He thinks that it should be federally illegal, which it still technically is. But he thinks that like all 50 states, it should be completely illegalized because he views it as a drug that is just as bad as heroin, and that's just medically and scientifically that's just asinine. I think that's an asinine stance from an uneducated man, and I don't like that. I dislike his stance on gay marriage. And that was something I was going to say about Trump. That Trump wants to legalize gay marriage in all 50 states, and I'm all for that. But anyway, with Biden, he's against gay marriage, um, and it's funny because just recently, as I was scrolling on Facebook, I saw an ad, and YouTube, forgive me, this is a very controversial statement, but understand I'm just quoting. It said Biden for the gays, for the blacks, and for the women. Okay, so first off, let's go on the gay thing. Okay, he openly admitted in like 2010 or 11 or 12, somewhere in that time frame when Obama was president, uh, is that like he he openly admitted while him and Obama were in office that him and Obama were completely against gay marriage and that Joe Biden will never ever ever change his stance because in his belief and opinion, a man and a woman should be married. That's a holy matrimony and it's a sin to be gay. Now, as somebody who is a religious man, I will never ever let my religious beliefs affect the way I treat other people. And what I mean by this is, uh, you know, Joe Biden is saying that he wouldn't want gay marriage legal in the United States because of the Bible. Well, it's my understanding that religion and state are supposed to be separate. So it doesn't matter what your religious belief is. You're supposed to go off of what you think is best for America. And if you want my opinion, and I know my opinion doesn't really count, I'm one small voice on a YouTube platform. But in my opinion, if a gay man wants to marry another gay man, or if a woman wants to marry a woman, why does it bother people? Why should it affect your life? It doesn't affect you. And that's the thing that just boggles my mind that in 2020 we're still having this debate. Two gay people getting married does not affect your life in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't. If your neighbors are gay, zippity doo dah. Who gives a shit? They're paying their bills and taxes just like everybody else. So why does it bother you? I don't get it. I'll never get it. And Biden openly said he's against gay marriage. So there's that. The second part of his thing where it said Biden for the gays, for the blacks. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not a black man. I'm a Mexican man. Okay. And back in, I believe it was 1984. I know it was in the 80s. I'm pretty sure it was like mid 80s, 84, 85. Joe Biden was the spearhead in signing a bill that would incarcerate a black man like 2 or 3 times the amount of time that a white man would be incarcerated for drugs. Okay, so for like drug possession or drug distribution. So I'm having a really hard time understanding how Joe Biden is for the black community when he signed a bill to fuck them over, to purposely fuck the whole black community, fuck them, and that's what he did. Okay, and that's what he did. And nobody clip that and take that what I just said out of context, by the way, for fuck's sake. But anyway, because that's the time we live in, where someone will take a clip of mine and just twist it out of context. But anyway, Joe Biden fucked the black community. He fucked them in the 80s. And in the debate the other night, this gets brought up, and he said, I regret that, and I've been trying to sign bills and laws to reverse that effect. Then why haven't you signed them? If this was signed in 1980, 90, 2000, 2010, 2020, so for 40 years, you haven't been able to reverse the effect of that bill that you put your John Hancock on. Are you joking? Okay. What's up, Good Ship Gaming? How you doing, man? Ryan, I'm reading your comments and I'll respond to them soon. So anyway, so he signed a bill in the 80s to purposely fuck the black community, completely fuck them over, okay? And what I mean by fuck them over is obviously you shouldn't have drugs. You should not possess drugs, okay? And I understand that. But I think it's horseshit that if a white man gets caught with an ounce of cocaine and a black man gets caught with an ounce of cocaine, then the black man's going to do more time because of this bullshit bill that Joe Biden and whoever was on his staff or whatever, Congress, I think, signed in the 80s. It's 2020. It's been 40 years, dude. 40 fucking years. And you can't reverse that. So no, Joe Biden is not for the gay community. He's not for the black community. And let's talk about this whole for the women thing. Okay. Joe Biden's running mate is a woman. Okay. And that's fine. I have nothing against a woman running for president. And that ties into my opinion at the end of the video. So just hold on. I promise you. But his running mate is a woman. Okay. And that's all fine and zippity do. But there are plenty of videos and there's plenty of quotes out there that are factual, that have been fact checked, where Joe Biden talks about why women should not be in power. Okay. He's all for women, just not if they're in power. Okay. Now, obviously, Trump is sexist as shit. I already covered how I don't like how he talks about women. And so Joe Biden is no better. He is no better. He talks badly about women and power. Okay. So let's talk about the good that Joe Biden wants to do. Oh, one more thing about Joe Biden. I don't like his gun stance, okay? I think his gun stance is asinine. He said on live television that he wants to have pistols and AR-15s completely stripped away from citizens. Okay, let me tell you why that's a dumb idea. Now, the police, okay, and the whole police brutality thing's a whole different video, but the police carry pistols on their hip. Okay, they also carry tasers, and I understand that. But they carry pistols on their hip. Why? Because if they get into a situation where they're being shot at, they have a firearm to help protect themselves. Okay, so when Joe Biden talks about wanting to get rid of pistols, again, he fucks the law-abiding citizens. Fucks them. He fucks them and fucks them and fucks them and gets them killed when Gangbanger 1 and 2 down the road don't give up their guns, and they start shooting at law-abiding citizens who now can't have a concealed carried weapon. It's horseshit. It's horseshit. Okay? He talks about how an AR-15 is a military-grade weapon. Newsflash, for anybody watching this that doesn't know anything about guns, an AR-15 is not a military weapon. If you went into war with an AR-15, you would get annihilated by an M4, an AK-47, an M16. You're not going to go into battle with an AR-15. It's a 22 caliber rifle. It's no different than grandpa or dad's hunting rifle. It just looks cooler. And I'm so sick of this stereotype about the AR-15. It's not a military grade weapon. It does not fire any faster than a handgun does, but Joe Biden doesn't know anything about guns. And that's my point. He doesn't understand guns, and he wants to strip the Second Amendment. And if he strips the law-abiding citizens of their guns, we're fucked. Us, the law-abiding citizens, we're fucked. Okay? And if you want to argue that guns taking them away would work, let's look at Chicago and Detroit, Michigan as two really good examples as to why that doesn't work. Because again, Gangbanger 1 and 2 down the road are not going to give up their guns. Okay. Now let's talk about the good. Okay. One thing that Joe Biden wants to do, and I think this is brilliant. I think this is a great idea. The Democrats have been talking about this for a while. I think this is a great idea. Okay. Is electric cars. Okay. Now, I understand that oil is a very good thing for America. I understand that it's very profitable. It's very good for our economy. I get all that. I get all that. Here's my problem with oil and whatnot, though. Why keep using a resource that isn't as efficient as electric? Okay. Now, obviously, there's certain parts of oil and different things that you can power with oil that electric wouldn't be, better. But we're talking about vehicles. Okay. Tesla is a great example. Smart cars are a good example of electric vehicles. I don't know anything about Priuses. I've always thought Priuses looked dumb. So I don't know how they operate. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, with the with the whole electric car thing, what the Democrats want to do and what Joe Biden is for is over a period of time getting rid of fuel type cars that run on gasoline and having only electric cars driving around. Now, I'm for that, but there's a couple things with that I'm against. Okay, if you guys have never seen lithium ion battery strip mines, you definitely need to go look at it. It's really fucked up and it's really hurting our planet right now. However, Elon Musk has talked about this before and said that he is trying to develop a battery that is not lithium ion that would charge and run in a vehicle. And I think that's a brilliant idea for the earth. Okay. I'm all about saving the planet. I do believe in global warming. It absolutely makes sense. There's definitely a hole in our ozone layer, and every top scientist in the world has talked about this. So I'm not going to get into any debates about global warming because it's already been proven. Okay. So I'm all for the Democratic idea of switching to electric cars only. However, they want to do it within the next 5 years. That's not going to happen. And let me tell you why that's not going to happen. 5 years is a long time, but it's not a long time at all. Okay. In 5 years, I'll be 29 years old. Okay. To give you some retrospect. However, in 5 years, I do not see how our economy would survive without oil from such a drastic boom, just a seismic shift like that. I don't see the economy lasting. I definitely don't see everybody being able to afford an electric car right now and within the next 5 years. And my point that I was making to a friend of mine the other night is if this plan went, if this plan fucking took, I don't know, say 20 years. In 20 years, you could find a smart car that would be just like going and finding a cheap, rust out Honda Civic on Craigslist today. They would be more affordable. So, because they would be more affordable in years to come, then it makes sense. But in 5 years, that's not enough time. It's not enough time to railroad something like that. So, I don't think it's a good idea in 5 years. 20, 30 years, excellent idea. If the earth hasn't cooked by that point, obviously. What's up, K-Patty? Dude, what's up, Crab? But anyway, so Biden is for the electric car thing. I dig that. One thing Biden is for that I like is he is all for I lost my point. Fuck. One thing Biden is for that I'm for, and this is controversial. This might piss some of you off. And if it does, I understand. But hear me out before you get mad at me. I do not personally believe in abortion. Okay, I don't. I don't believe in it. However, hold on before you hit the dislike button. I think that it should be legal. And there's a lot of reasons why it should be legal. For example, a really close friend of mine years ago was going to give birth. But if she would have gave birth, she would have died, and the baby probably would have died. So she had to get an abortion in order to save her life. And if the baby would have died, that's 2 lives, right? For the price of no life versus aborting the child, which saves a life as opposed to no lives. So there's that. There is plenty of time where mothers can't carry a child full term. So abortion should be legal for that. I believe in the her body, my choice thing, or her body, her choice thing. I do have an opinion on that, but it's a private opinion, so it doesn't affect the way I look at abortion legally. Because if you illegalize abortion, you are going to have unsafe practices of abortion that are killing not just babies, but adults from infection, from internal bleeding. The list goes on. So while abortion, in my personal belief, is awful, and I would never want, if I was a woman, I'd never want to do that. And if the wife got pregnant, I'd never want her to get an abortion. I still think it should remain legal. Joe Biden agrees with that. That's something that I agree with him on. Something else Joe Biden is for that I like is he is for small business. He likes the idea of small businesses being able to succeed. He's talked openly about how the COVID-19 shutdown hurt a lot of small businesses and how he dislikes the fact that it hurt a lot of small businesses. Now, do I think that he genuinely gives a shit about these small businesses? No, but neither does Donald J. Trump, and neither does any politician, because it doesn't hurt their pockets. But the fact he says it out loud, I identify with that. I can agree with that. So we've went over the pros and cons of Donald Trump. We've went over the pros and cons, my personal pros and cons of Donald Trump, and my personal pros and cons of Joe Biden. Now, if you want my unfiltered opinion, I'm not voting for either of them. I didn't vote for either of them. I would never vote for either of them. Obviously, Hunter Biden got caught in that child pornography thing recently. Now, I don't know too much about it. I haven't looked into it enough, so I'm not going to speak on it fully. All I know, it was Hunter Biden and some child porn. If you want to do the research, do the research. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to speak on something I'm not educated about. Trump is, to me, a hideous human being. Biden is a hideous human being. I dislike both of them. I don't agree with them enough to vote for, I don't agree with Trump enough to vote for Trump, and I don't agree with Biden enough to vote for Biden. So I voted third party. I'm going to piggyback off something I said earlier. Joe Biden says openly that women should not be in power. Donald Trump talks about women terribly and has said he doesn't think they should be in power. I voted for a woman. I voted for Jo Jorgensen. There is a few things I disagree with her about, but most of what she says, I agreed with. Most of her policy ideas, I like. Now, and this is the most important part of the video. It's the most important part. But before we get to the most important part, I'm going to bring back a throwback line of mine. For all you vapors out there, get your cotton drip. We're going to take a hit. For all you smokers out there, get whatever you're smoking, get it lit. Let's chill. Cheers. Now, this is the most important part of the video. And I want all my Republican friends watching this. I want all my Democrat friends watching this. I want all my libertarian friends watching this. I want everybody of any political party identification watching this to hear what I am about to say. November the 3rd, tomorrow, one of the candidates is going to win. One of them is going to lose. That's the nature of the game. And it is okay to be upset if who you voted for doesn't win. I know my candidate's not going to win. I already know because she's third party. But it is okay to be upset. It is okay to be mad. What is not okay is physically attacking people. What is not okay is assaulting people. What is not okay is rioting. What is not okay is killing people. What is not okay is hurting people. So, America, I am a small voice on a very large platform. But to anybody that watches this, to anybody that listens to this, anybody that agrees or disagrees with this, please, on November the 3rd and 4th, and forever on after that, do not act like a fucking fool. If your candidate loses, it's okay. It's going to be okay. All right? I promise you. I've lived through a couple of presidents. I promise you it's going to be okay. Please, for fuck's sake, America, we are on the world stage again come November the 3rd. Let's not fuck this up. Let's not divide ourselves. Let's not act like fucking idiots. I'm not even going to say children because that would mean insult to children. Let's not fuck this up. Let's be upset if our candidates don't win. Let's make a couple hateful tweets and let's move on. Please. Because obviously, both candidates are terrifying. Obviously, 79 days of hell are coming. And obviously, one of the candidates is going to lose. So, please don't fuck this up. Please. My candidate's going to lose tomorrow night. I'm going to watch with my own eyes as my candidate doesn't even get mentioned, even though she should be on the debate stages, even though she should have just as much of a chance as Trump and Biden. I'm going to watch my candidate lose. And you know what I'm going to do? On November the 4th, I'm going to get up. I'm going to put my pants on. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go to work. And I'm going to come home. I'm going to get on my computer or my PlayStation. And I'm going to hang out with my wife and play my guitar. And my life's going to keep on going. And that's what everybody's life should do. So again, America, I beg, I plead, don't fuck this up. Please. Decent human beings. Yeah, I agree. I've never been more terrified in my life of an election. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever in my life have I been more terrified. Because while I know there's going to be some people that act mature about this, I know in the pit of my stomach, no matter which candidate loses, it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a shit show. I'm happy that I live in a small town. I'm happy I don't live in a big city. I'm very happy that I live isolated because it's going to be a fucking shit show in all the major cities around this country. And I just hope and pray for the best. I hope that nobody gets hurt. I hope nobody gets killed. I hope nobody gets set on fire. I know it's going to happen, but I'm hoping that it doesn't. And I think that's what sucks. Yeah. Yeah, Ryan. Exactly. It's going to be, I've already called it, man. I've already said it. If Trump wins, everyone's going to go nuts. And if Biden wins, everybody's going to go nuts. It's going to be crazy. It's never going to be cordial. There's going to be stupidity. There's going to be riots everywhere. There's going to be people, innocent children, women, men that get hurt, brutalized, victimized over a fucking election. And we're the only country with these kind of problems. We are. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm normally a really positive dude, man. I normally like to look at the good of things. I like to think like positive, you know. But there's no positive here. There's none. The only positive from this whole thing that I can gather is at least after this election's over, everything will calm down a little bit. Maybe. Maybe. Depending on who wins, maybe. Yeah. It's a good point, Ryan. I was alive. I was alive when 9/11 happened. I was alive. And I remember everywhere American flags, stood for the country, loved America, loved their, their neighbors. Everybody was like getting along. There was no racial tension. There was no politics, there was no evil. It was America. We loved each other. Everybody loved each other regardless of race, skin color, uh religion, every, sexual orientation. Everybody loved each other because we were one. And we fucked it up. We fucked it up. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. That's my opinion. Joe Jorgensen 2020. Fuck Trump, fuck Biden, fuck them both 2020. Act mature tomorrow, America. Please, for all that is good on this earth, don't fuck this up. For all my subscribers that have agreed with me, appreciate you. For all my subscribers that disagree with me, appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching this. I love each and every one of you, even if you disagree with me. I love you if you're voting Trump. I love you if you're voting Biden. I love you if you're voting third party. I love you if you're not voting at all. I love you. So, we all have opinions, man. So, I love you guys, man. Please be safe. Be very vigilant the next few days. It's going to be a shit show. And yeah, man. So, love you guys, man. And until the next live stream or video here on the YouTubes, peace, love, and I'm saying to all of you guys. Wonderful, wonderful, true nerd nation. Love you guys so very much, man. I'll catch you all in the next one. Later, dudes.